Hi, Cosmic Intelligence Agency fans, Facebook fans, CIA fans. This is Tara Green. I'm Agent 129 of the Cosmic Intelligence Agency page. I can't see myself right now. I don't know why this happens when I do this. So I really need to know if you're on there and if you can see me. It is a bit awkward here, not being able to see myself. Hold on. Okay, it's just 8 o'clock now. I seem to be on. Hello, please wave, say hi. I'm trying to also watch this on the page myself as we're on here. Okay, good. I can see myself there. Okay, so hi, Cosmic Intelligence Agency fans. Now, this is going to be a little bit different tonight. Hi, somebody just said hello there. Going to be a little bit different tonight because it is the autumn equinox. It's the fall equinox here. It is the balance of day and night, and it is one of the major cardinal cross-quarter gateways in the year. So very powerful time of the year, and all of our ancestors were always celebrating at this time of the year. So usually you might know me that I usually do a live monthly tarot astrology workshop, but really I was literally told by Spirit 2 days ago that I needed to come on and kind of lead a guided meditation. So we're in now the last quarter of the year. So far, we've made it this far through 2020, and what a year it's been. So as we get ready to go through the last quarter, we're also, 3 months away to the historic December 21st, 2020 alignment of Jupiter and Saturn. And really my spirit guides, when I was looking into 2020 at the end of 2019, only showed me blackness and darkness and said, if we can get to December 21st, 2020, there'll be a kind of a spark of light. Now, the balance of the day and night, it's about equality. Libra is symbolized by the scales of justice. Now, those scales of justice, Libra is the only sign that is not symbolized by a living creature, which is really quite interesting. So it's an air sign. Air rules the lungs, it rules the mind, it rules thinking, analysis. So Libras like to talk about relationships, which they're known for, like to think about relationships. And now we can feel as an air sign that we can breathe. So, the motto from George Floyd's infamous, terrible, I can't breathe statement. And then, of course, not being able to breathe because of all the wildfires. They had those in Australia earlier in the year and now up and down the west coast of the US. The sense of being able to breathe and really the sense of being able to be at ease in life is about being able to breathe. Okay, so we're going to focus after I talk a little bit about Libra and about Venus and Vesta being together in Leo at this equinox. I'm going to lead you in a guided meditation. Okay, so if you can get a candle ready, a yellow candle, and some smudge, sage. I'm going to also sage everybody here, myself here, while I get ready to do this. And if you can wear gold, we like to bring in things, attributes to the planets. This is a little ritual, a little ceremony. I will talk about the stones, oils, and other attributes of Libra. So the more you can bring in to make this ceremony real, we are really honoring the planets, the signs. They were considered to be living energies and entities by our ancient ancestors. And the more we can do that, the better. Okay, now, let's see. So Libra, okay, the scales of justice. The scales of justice are based on an ancient Egyptian goddess called Ma'at. And Ma'at was this very beautiful goddess. And, in Egypt, where they took the heart and the brain and the liver out of the deceased person, Ma'at was there after you had died, and they would take your heart, or the heart of the deceased person, and put it on one side of the scale. And then they would weigh that against, she wore a big, beautiful ostrich feather on her diadem, against the heart. So there you have on one side of the scale the heart, one side the feather. And so, of course, if your heart was heavier than Ma'at's feather, you had to go back into reincarnation and to kind of work things out, work out your heaviness, your regrets, your depression, your debts, your karmic debts, whatever that was, until they balanced. And I think that's a really beautiful story. So ultimately, what you want is to have your heart to be as light as a feather. So let's focus on how we can hope to get to that balance. Okay, so Libra, a cardinal sign, the seventh sign, opposite Aries. We have to remember that all signs have to include their opposite. Aries is the beginning of the natural new year, so we're also halfway to the new beginning in spring equinox in 2021. Okay, so Libra is all about the balance, and in the tree of life in the Kabbalah, there are three pillars actually. There's a pillar of mercy, a pillar of severity, and a middle pillar. So we want to get to that middle balance place, like the Buddha talked about, the middle way. Okay, middle way is balance. Now, I also want to remind you that Cosmic Intelligence Agency is having a Mandala competition and giving away a free subscription for a year. So, and it's really fun to make mandalas. They really can make them out of anything, natural things. They can be really beautiful and fun. So please send those into the CIA. That would be a really good thing to do for the equinox. Okay, so, okay, Libra, the sign of relationships, the sign of marriage traditionally, the sign of relating to all others. So I know Librans tend to get a lot of hate on Twitter these days because people find them superficial or flighty, or they're just into appearances. I know Libra likes everyone to like them. It's a sign of being nice, of course. They want to be accepted, social media, all that stuff. So they're not really all that liked. It is about justice. So Libra, in the tarot, justice is the card number 7. Sorry, the card number 8 or the card number 11 in the tarot. I'm not going to go into why it's 8 or 11. That's a whole complex thing there. But justice, there are certain colors attributed to these cards and to Libra. So the color is emerald green. It relates to the heart chakra and the Archangel Raphael. This is in the tarot, relating to the numbered card of justice, whether you consider it to be 8 or 11. It has a sound. Its vibration is an F sharp if you're musical. And the symbol for justice means an ox goad, okay? And in Hebrew, the letter associated with it is called lamed. So, all right. Now, the other attributes for Libra, people are into a lot of other stones and oils and things. So if you have, and I'm going to start you on this meditation now, but please feel free to continue on or do your own, Libra ceremony, ritual, whatever, as you wish. Now, stones and minerals associated with Libra are smoky quartz. That's a very common one that most people have, smoky quartz. Rutilated quartz, that's also a very nice one. Herkimer diamonds. Now, I use a very special Herkimer diamond. This is my usual go-to crystal. This is especially good for dreaming. Moonstones, interestingly enough. Emeralds, lapis lazuli, kunzite, and coral. Okay. And then if you want to think about the balance, because we're really about balancing, the Libra and the masculine, the feminine, day and night, those are complementary opposites. And I think one of the problems these days is people are very much torn into polarities, good, bad, black, white, and so we can't have one without the other. The nature of this universe is duality. It is a natural thing. The ancients worked their magic according to what they could see and observe. So complementary opposites is what Libra is all about. So if we're in the time of Libra, we also need to be honoring Aries. Okay. Now, of course, we all know that Mars is in Aries right now and it is a retrograde. So there is an indication that because the equinox chart, astrology chart, which I believe they did a video on the CIA, if you want to go back and refer to that, Mars being retrograde really holds back the energy. So really, we may not see results of what we intend right now until after November the 13th, when Mars begins to go direct again. So if you want to bring in some Aries masculine, energy here, Aries stones are red garnets, bloodstones, carnelian, ruby, or amber. So things that are red, of course. You could use watermelon tourmaline as well. That's one of my favorites because it has both. So it's the perfect stone for Libra because it has the green tourmaline and the red or the pink. So really what you would want to do is bring in also incense or herbs, which is coriander. Most people have coriander, rose, sweetgrass, which is what the indigenous people of North America use. They burn that in ceremonies. Sandalwood, very common in Indian incense, and any incense will do. Vanilla is also good for Libra. Most people have vanilla. You could put it on or taste it even. And then you would bring in white or green candles for Venus and red candles for Mars or Aries. Now, Libra rules the skin. It rules the small of the back and the kidneys and the adrenals. So these are very important. Most people have adrenal burnout these days, you know. So this time of the year, especially according to Chinese medicine, at the change in the seasons, this is the time when you would go to your practitioner and get your immune system kind of revved up again. Of course, with everybody's fear of COVID-19 and things like that, that might be a little bit more difficult. So I would strongly urge you to build up your system right now to get ready. If you live in the northern hemisphere where we're going to go into autumn and the weather's getting colder, you really want to get your body ready for that change of the seasons. It is the beginning of the cold and flu season, so you want to make sure you build up your immune system. So things that are associated with Libra for cleansing and toning herbs are angelica, thyme, a very common cooking herb, burdock, which grows wild. It's, you know, burrs that stick to you. That's the invention of, you know, those sticky things that stick together. And bearberry. Bearberry was smoked as an herb by indigenous people. Okay, so there. All right, so what we want to do is think about balancing the polarities. Again, the polarities, the opposites, are not opposed. They are the lovers. You know what I mean? This is also the nature of opposites. We live in an age of complementary opposites, yin yang, day night. And so as we begin to not hate, I know that's difficult. It's very tense these days. Hate the shadows, hate the rejected parts, but see them as necessary opposites. You can't have day without night. And so we want to stop that war. And that's really what justice is all about. Now, of course, in the news, I know justice is a big deal in America because, you know, Ruth Bader Ginsburg just passed away. And of course, they're going to try to nominate a Republican judge right now. So, you know, and we feel that things are unjust. So also at this time of year, we want to focus on what is justice? You know, how can we bring ourselves into balance into an increasingly, you know, crazy year that we've all been through? It's been very hard. So how can we find that still place, that inner sense of peace? That's what Libra is supposed to be all about, the peacemaker. And we want to be peacemakers, you know, not warmongers, okay? So Libra is governed by the beautiful planet and goddess Venus. And she's the planet that governs women and grace and creativity, sex, relationships, war traditionally. She was the goddess of love and war traditionally. She rules beauty and luxury. Okay, so at the equinox, we have Venus in Leo, where she's the golden goddess for sure of Luke's. Now, Leo is the sign that rules the heart. Leo is the sign of the sun. So Venus is sitting in the sun sign. So she is governed by the sun, actually. So this is a very positive energy. The sun is the source of all light. It's the source of life and heat. So really we're basking, Venus is basking in that power, in that leonine power. You know, she's in a masculine sign. She's sitting like you would think about those goddesses like Durga. So in times of imbalance in the world, in the Hindu religion, you would call upon the goddess Durga, and she comes in very powerfully riding a white or a regular orange tiger. And she slays or kills all the demonic forces in the world. So definitely you would want to call on Durga. She's another symbol or emblem of Venus in Leo. And she has a chant, and you can go look it up on the internet, Durga. Okay. Very powerful goddess, right? Now, Leo is also like drama. They have star power. You know, so Venus and Leo is about having courage, having daring, you know, wearing your heart on your sleeve, you know, really expressing who you are. It's about creative self-expression. It's about playfulness, and it's about childlike self-expression. So we want to bring all of those attributes in at this time. Now, Venus is also conjunct an asteroid goddess called Vesta. Now, you may think you've never heard of Vesta, but I know that you have, because Vesta is the root word of investments. So you have money in the bank, you have investments, even if you have a few cents in the bank. So investments, or Vesta, is what we invest ourselves in, what we choose to focus on, okay? It's also about the investiture of power. So we can invest ourselves in power as well, or grace, or beauty, or harmony, you know, so whatever it is. Now, Venus and Vesta are together, at 18 plus degrees of Leo, helping us to focus our love and devotion in a time of great uncertainty. So what burns within helps us to stay on track, and it is the most perfect signature for setting focused, heartfelt, and devoted intentions at this equinox, which we really need to do. And that's what Vesta governs: focus, devotion, and Venus's love. So we rejoice now and we rekindle our fire. Now in Australia, of course, they're getting ready to go into spring, the opposite of us down under. So they're going into a different season. Okay, now, so 18, the number 18 in itself, the 18th degree in Hebrew is called Chai, and it means life. So that's another key symbol. Now, numerology, you know, is September 22nd. The equinox can fall on the 20th, the 21st, the 22nd. But it's also significant that it is today on the 22nd because 22 is a master number. In the tarot, it is the symbol of the Fool, which is a new beginning. It's the 0 point. It's the reset point. It's the symbol of infinity. And we are in 2020, which is also a master number year. Okay. So this is the year where we really need to get a very big lesson here as well. Okay. Now the Sabian symbol, for those who like those according to Linda Hill, we go one up. It's the 19th degree of Leo. It is a houseboat party crowded with revelers, and the water reflects its light. Okay, so not too many houseboat parties crowded these days, but we want to think about what that means. Okay, now, Vesta. Okay, so let's talk about what Vesta is, because most of you don't know who she is. Vesta is a Roman goddess. In Greek, she was called Hestia. And so you probably heard of the Vestal Virgins. Okay, but the Vestal Virgins is a kind of, like most of the Greek myths at this point, a patriarchal version. And so when people talk about defunding the police or whatever, a lot of people are deconstructing old stories. And definitely, I think these myths are definitely going to have to be deconstructed. And a number of astrologers have started to do that. So Vesta, her symbol looks like a little V with another tinier V and a little flame. And she represents that sacred flame. So she rules the signs of Virgo and Scorpio, actually. Now, Demetra George was the first astrologer to write the book on asteroid goddesses. So if you want to refer to that book, that's a great resource. So she is Vesta, the focus of keeping the sacred flame of spirit burning constantly. Okay. So in ancient Rome, this was one of the most important things. Vesta was considered the goddess who was always worshipped. The light, the sacred fire was always kept lit, was never allowed to burn out. And this was really important in the ancient days where people, if you had to move, you had to have a fire going, okay, at all times. So these goddesses were not virgins like we think of being sexually chaste. That is not what they were at all. They were actually sacred tantric priestesses, okay? And virgin meant a woman who was whole and complete unto herself. She was actually a parthenogenic goddess, able to give birth without a man, just like the Virgin Mary. And so this was something that these goddesses were very devoted, very pure, very focused. I mean, that's the whole point. That's what the word is. So to bring the focus in a time of great distraction and uncertainty is certainly something we need these days as well. So she was actually a sacred prostitute or a hierodule, and she knew how to use sacred, what they would call kundalini energy in yoga, to heal herself and others, and especially men who had been to war. There's not very much research on this out in the world, but she used to heal men. They were considered to be transducers of sexual energy using the symbols of the snake as well, which is the symbol of transformation. Okay, so Vestal Virgins were in existence. They had temples, which were some of the most famous temples in Rome up until AD 394, where they were outlawed. Okay, so Vesta is related to the erotic flame of passion, okay, as well in sex. So to keep our passion for life alive, which is very much what Leo is all about. And in the tarot, strength and Leo are one, and that's what that symbol is all about. So again, there's that 8-11 where justice and strength are interconnected. And here we find them actually in this connection of Venus and Leo and Vesta and Leo. Now, so every woman before she married had to serve for 1 year as one of these sacred priestesses in Vesta's temple. And then later on, of course, the Romans made them be chaste, and they were you know, highly punished, killed, and had horrible deaths if they didn't follow those rules. Okay, but never mind that. Okay, so the shrine, keeping the sacred fire burning. Okay, so the sacred fire is always our own source, our own light. It is like the sun, the internal sun. It's when we're connected to our own source, we can light up. We don't need anything outside of ourselves. We have that perfect balance or marriage of the masculine and the feminine. Okay, so the other thing I want to mention is that there's also a big T-square going on right now between Eris, Mars, and Lilith, okay, in Aries, opposite Mercury, and squaring Saturn and Pluto. So we are under, again, very intense energies still. And also that there's an inconjunct, that Venus and Leo are an inconjunct, or at a 150-degree angle from Neptune and Jupiter in Capricorn, meaning that we need to embody or bring in or honor these ancient traditions and bring in the spiritual and the earthly. So what I want to do is to lead you now in a guided meditation to bring you into focus and balance at the equinox, you know, so we can come to a place of poise using Venus and Vesta, so honoring them. So you can begin by smudging yourself first. If you have a candle to light it, I'm not going to light it now because it's a bit too close to my computer. So get very comfy. I've asked people to have yellow candles or to wear gold. That's why I'm wearing this gold jacket. And to just get comfy. And I'm just going to guide you to set this up in a very simple way. Some of you may be used to doing ceremonies and traditions at this time. Some of you may not. Okay, so nothing spooky about this. This is very simple. Calling in the directions and the elements first. Now, different traditions start in different directions and they use different symbols. The one that I used, we start in the east because the sun rises in the east, and the east is then fire, and you always move clockwise. So you always have to call in the 4 directions. So you would light your candle, you would smudge, okay, and then you can face these directions or you can just call them in. So you begin with the east, calling in the element of fire. So you call in the element of fire to be with you in your sacred circle. You can also call in the 4 archangels, starting with Michael, Gabriel, Ariel, and Raphael, also in the same order. So you would start with the east with fire, with spirit, with illumination and enlightenment, that's the sun, to come in and be here in your sacred circle. Okay. And then you would move to the south. Now, in this tradition that I use, south is water, and you would call in the elements and the spirits of water in the south. So the elements of the heart, that's what Leo rules, the flow, the receptivity, the openness. It's like the priestess of cups also in the tarot. So you would call the element of water to come into your circle because water breaks down all hardness. And then you would turn to the west and you would call in the element of earth. So the element of earth is the physical body. It is reality. It represents all the goddesses. It's the place of death, of rebirth, of transformation. So you need to call on the dark goddesses that bring life and death into the circle by all of their different names. And you would call upon the powers of the earth to ground this ceremony. And then you would turn to the north and you call upon the spirits of air. So the spirits of air or the wind are also the master higher teachers that open our minds. You call upon the powers of breath. Now remember, Libra is an air sign, to bring in that sense of an open mind, okay, and being able to breathe. So the breathing is key. I know a lot of people have been very stressed and tense and anxious. And so during this ceremony, it's basically a breathing meditation that will lead you in. So if you can get really comfy and close your eyes, I'm just going to lead you through this meditation. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take a journey back in time. I'm just going to give you a little overview here with as a Vestal Virgin, okay, into the temple to honor this time of year, to honor the equinox. So just remember to follow your breath and to breathe very naturally and easy. Do not force anything. So breathe deeply, but naturally in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. So for those who do yoga, you're familiar with this kind of natural breathing actually. So you can put your hand really deep down. I would say deep down below your navel. You want to breathe very deeply. For women, I find it's even better to breathe like right down into your hips. It's very grounding. Okay. So don't force anything. You just want to have the act of witnessing yourself breathing, which begins to still the monkey mind. Okay. So you want to get that chatter down. So if you have some nice music, some nice meditation music, that'd be good to have that on as well. Okay. So keep just doing this and breathing in and out, deeper and deeper. They say it only takes like 10 deep breaths to actually totally shift your reality. Okay. So keep breathing in and out, and then beginning to use your imagination and all of your senses with your eyes closed. You connect your breath to your spine. And as you exhale, you imagine your breath going down your spine as if you have a tail. And your imagination is everything. Now, if you're a person that doesn't feel you can see things, you can certainly sense them. So just sense your breathing as if it's running along your spine and it's coming out the bottom of your spine. So it's going through the chair you're sitting on, or through the floor you're sitting on, or the earth you're sitting on, down deep into the earth below you. So you want to imagine your breath descending just naturally deeper and deeper with every in-breath and out-breath, flowing past the rocks and the crystals, the gold and the minerals, the strata and ancient layers of the earth, down, down, down into the heart of Mother Earth. We do this to get grounded and anchored to the earth before we do any ceremony. Okay, well, we're going to go into any other time dimension as well. So as you go deeper and deeper into the earth, you'll feel it get warmer. Inside the earth, there is a heart flame, a burning kind of iron core at the center of the earth. So you want to go down and to feel that heat of Mother Earth. Okay, so feel the safety and the warmth of the inner earth, the mother kind of taking care of us. And once you feel grounded and centered there, like you're really anchored so deep into the earth that nothing could budge you, you then slowly begin to imagine that you begin to climb back up through your breath, beginning to climb back up through the rocks and the strata, past the layers of sediment again, up past the gold and the minerals. You can just see them in the earth, the platinum, the oil, all of the infrastructure, the natural things of the earth. And you keep going slowly up, breathing up, growing like the roots of a seed, growing back up naturally from the earth, deeper up, 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 like a flower breaking through the ground, growing up to the sun where you first entered, and moving back up and out into the light through the soles of your feet, because these are also chakras. So feel that sense of your feet on the ground. You can wiggle your toes and just kind of feel that sense of how anchored you are. And then you breathe up through the ankles to your calves and up past your knees and your thighs and up into your root chakra, again, the base of your spine. It's the first chakra, it's your base chakra, and its color is red. So you may see a spinning red light or a big red rose opening. And then you begin to anchor in your first chakra, first energy center. And then just breathing naturally, you bring your energy and your attention up into your second chakra. This color is a vivid orange. For women, this is at the womb. Men also have like a spirit womb. And you bring in to breathe and feel that energy center activate and open. Okay. All right, good. You're doing very good. And then you bring your energy up into the third chakra, which is the will chakra, which is like the sun. This is what connects you from your navel to the outside world, to your power center. So you would see like a shining sun or a star coming from your third chakra. This is your inner sun. That's what you're going to connect to. your will. Right, great. And you feel that energy, that power, that alivening, that awakening. Okay, good. And then you breathe up into your fourth chakra, into your heart. And you can bring your hands again up into your heart chakra. Feel the beating of your heart, feeling the blood pulse from your heart through your veins. And feel that life force. Okay, this is the heart. This is the source of love, the source of joy and energy. You can see it as a beautiful emerald green color, again, as a kind of green with pink, or sometimes people see it as peach pink with green as well. Just feel that your heart expand with love for yourself and for the world. Just feel yourself circulating that love, self-love and acceptance. Okay, great. Then bring your energy, your intention, your breath up to your fifth chakra, up to your throat. Its color is a beautiful indigo blue color. And let any sounds out, because this throat chakra tends to be one that gets stuck very easily. Just clear your throat if you need to. You need to have the fifth chakra open. It's connected to your root chakra, which is your survival chakra. So a lot of people have had their survival threatened. So you want to make sure your throat chakra is really open, and the throat chakra is where the word comes from. And in the beginning was the word, the vibration. So singing or chanting or toning is very good to do. To open your fifth chakra will immediately put you in your power. Okay, so do that as you will, and then breathe up to your sixth chakra. Now that is your third eye center, at the center of your brow. Its color is a beautiful ultraviolet purple color. So you may see or sense your third eye opening as you breathe into it, awakening your intuitive, your psychic power, your inner perception. So you're breathing right into your third eye right now. Okay, opening that up. So feel your six senses kind of opening more and more. And then you're going to breathe right up into your head. And so feel your breath filling up your head like it's a balloon. And you're going to awaken and touch the pineal gland, which is the center of all inner visualizations, in your head. It looks like a little pine cone right at the center of your head, and feel it kind of awaken and accelerate, maybe even vibrating. And you're going to breathe up right into your seventh chakra, the crown chakra, right at the center of your head. This is the chakra that's open when babies are born for the first year. And you'll see it like open like a big fountain, or it's called the 1,000-petal lotus at the top of your head. Brilliant white light opens, and this is your star. This is the star at the top of your head, connecting you to the sun, to all the stars in the galaxies and the cosmos. So just feel that white light, and you can feel it kind of like a fountain kind of spreading out from the top of your head, right covering your body with white light. It's very protective. So if you're feeling threatened by the state of the world, you can always do a very quick, brief meditation on this to remember that you're always bathed in this white light. And then you can breathe up past your seventh chakra into your eighth chakra, which is the connection to your higher self or your guardian angel. And you can imagine it as a golden ball of light, maybe about a foot above your head. Very important that you focus on that one. That is a big protector of yourself, of your auras, of everything. And you may have a sense of calling in also your holy guardian angel or angels with you right now too. Okay. Now, if you're feeling very calm and very connected, I want you to now imagine we're going to get into a time travel ship, which is your imagination. And you're going to go back in time, and you find yourself dressed as a woman, wearing white robes. She's got a veil over her head. She's wearing sandals, and she's walking towards a very beautiful marble pillared round temple. Beautiful Greek round temple, beautifully decorated pillars. And as her, walk into the temple, you bow your head as you enter. As you walk into the darkness in the interior of the temple, and as you walk towards the center of the temple, you see the eternal flame altar at the center. Now understand that you are a Vestal goddess. Okay, you are a Vestal goddess. This was your chosen profession in this lifetime, to dedicate yourself as a priestess of the eternal flame of life and light and love. So just feel that sense in your heart of focus, of dedication to keeping the eternal flame alive. All life is dependent on it. It's dependent on your devotion, your service to keeping that flame alive. Okay, so Vesta is also just another aspect of Venus herself. She's the goddess in all of her thousands of names. And so whether you're masculine or feminine, everybody can become Vesta, become this archetypal energy. Okay. So see yourself kneeling before the sacred flame. You can light a censer to burn incense. Incense is an offering to Vesta. You bring oil and wood and sacred herbs to add to the fire. And as you sit kneeling in front of the hot fire, basking in the glow of the warmth, you feel this sense of honor, of peace, of wholeness, of meaning, of purpose, of dedication to the eternal flame, to the symbol of eternal light and life, of spirit, which is both your own soul, the world soul, and the sun above, bringing light, warmth, and life to the earth. So you know that your devotion, your work, is also what's fueling the world. And it's always a give and take. It's always that balance. It's always an eternal round. So as you sit and continue to stoke the flame in the temple, you're aware that you're also stoking yourself, your own divine mission and purpose. You understand that your purpose is to love yourself. And as you love yourself, you love everyone else with unwavering devotion. To always shine your light, which is your true essence. You are an eternal spirit of light. To bring your will, your power, and your heart, the light of love, and into the world and be a light in the world for others. So when you're connected to the light, to the source, to your internal source, you're whole and complete, which is what the word version means. So just feel this joy and this radiating through your body as the heat from the fire and from your own body rises up as you maintain your own flame. You are filled with energy, with joy, with radiance, with passion, with life force, with bliss. And you feel every fiber of your body vibrating with this bliss. So you feel this life energy charging you up in every cell of your body. You are lit. You know that no matter how dark, hard, or difficult life may seem, no matter how many challenges, obstacles, losses, or depression, or scary the world can certainly be at times, that you can still shine from the darkness, that no darkness will ever dim your light. That by sitting, tending your own eternal flame, the own light within the darkness, and stoking it, that you may always connect to your higher self, your inner truth, and the power of love, which lights up the world. You know that nothing can stop your own light and your own love when you're connected to your own source. And this is what brings you into a state of total balance and harmony. All right, so just be with that energy. You want to thank the goddess Vesta and Venus for uniting at this time. You want to restate a vow to tend to your heart's desires, your dedication to always feed the fires of love and light, of inspiration, hope, and joy. So now you intend to connect with your own self as the beloved within. And this is really crucial because this is what Libra is all about. You need to experience this self-love, what they call the sacred marriage within, which Rumi talked about as his beloved. So see and feel your divine beloved in whatever form they are. And see the two of you dropping your stories, your mask, your fears, and seeing each other as this eternal flame, this spark of light. You mirror each other. You mirror this unconditional love for each other. And you find union in each other's hearts as absolute equals, as one whole entity. And so when you sense this feeling, this extension of love, of peace and balance from within yourself, feel yourself being embraced by the beloved within, you see everyone outside you is also an equal entity to you, that everyone carries the spark of light within them. So see the wholeness of yourself and others, carrying within also this yin and this yang, this necessary polarity which feeds all life. And so feel this sense of peace and wholeness. And once you have this sense of being with your beloved, of being in total balance, you will never be alone. You will never be alone. Okay, because you have the source, you are whole. Beyond the duality is that oneness. So at this point, you can also ask to release any blocks or fears of intimacy, which your ego or your personality is still holding, which keeps you from really loving yourself absolutely unconditionally, and keeps you from being in a balanced, committed relationship as well. But you must do the work on yourself first. Okay, that's really what the criterion is all about. So take your time as you bring yourself into this place of total harmony, of peace and love, firmly rooted in the middle way or pillar of justice. And sense your heart being reborn anew, lighter, clearer in its original purity. And then visualize your heart weighed against Maat's ostrich feather. And watch until your heart comes into a perfect balance with that white feather on her scales of justice. So wait and watch until you see those scales balance. Stay with this energy and be with it as long as you need. And just understand you can come to the state of balance at any time. So meditate and ask what it is you need to do now. At any ceremony, it's always a point of opening a call to action. So ask what you need to work on to bring this sense of balance and wholeness and peace out into the world. How you can be the peacemaker and be the change in the world right now. So hold this energy, and as you come out of it, get a piece of paper or write down or record into your phone any feelings, visions, or images, and even more questions. And then you want to make a vow to serve Vesta, to serve Venus in very humble ways, in everyday ways. So when you work, your work should be an offering of service to the source. Your food, your lovemaking, your cleaning your house, or even every mundane task there is, putting on your makeup should be a spiritual act of embodying the beauty of the goddess of Venus. And everybody can do this, whatever gender you're in. So you could light a candle daily, devoted to Vesta, the goddess of the sacred fire within. You can make sure you understand that you keep that sacred hearth fire lit inside of yourself. Okay, you have the power and the magic to do that. So, as you slowly come out of this meditation, open your eyes and look around and just hold on to whatever it is, whatever the experience was that you went through. And then before we close any ceremony, you always have to thank all the spirits and the elements that came. So starting with the east again, you thank the spirits and the powers of fire for coming and being here with you, for bringing the light into, and the awareness, the consciousness into your ceremony. Thank you, spirits of fire, for being here in this ceremony. I release you back to your direction with great gratitude. Oh. And then turning to the south, you thank the sacred powers of water, the elements of feeling, of the heart, for being here in this ceremony. I thank you, sacred powers of the water elements, of water, for being here in this ceremony. I release you back to your direction now with great gratitude. Oh. And then turning to the west, I thank the sacred powers of the earth, of death and rebirth and transformation, the powers of the feminine, for being here in this circle. I release you back to your direction with great gratitude. Oh. And I thank the sacred powers of the north, the powers of the mind, the elements of air, the element of Libra. Thank you for bringing us new images, new consciousness, keeping our minds open to receiving new ideas. And I thank you, sacred powers of the air, and I released you back to your direction with great gratitude. So now you may want to sit for a minute and think about what the experience is. Also, before you go to sleep at night, you can ask to go again into the sacred temple of Vesta with Venus and in Leo, and just to sit and ask them to come and appear in your dreams. Okay. Again, this is a very sacred time, the gateway of Libra. So work with these goddesses on an ongoing basis. Give thanks for this time. I hope that you enjoyed that meditation. It seemed like it went very fast to me. Please let me know how you enjoyed it. I want to thank you all. I want to wish you all a great equinox, a great Libra season for the next 3 months as we approach the next winter solstice. So thank you very much. Thank you for the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. And if you want to get in touch with me, I'm at terratarot.com. Many blessings. Bye-bye.